The Muslims have to help us figure out. There's tremendous hatred there. There's tremendous hatred. But where it comes from, I don't know. There's a sickness. There's sick people. There's a sickness going on. There is a group of people that is very sick, and we have to figure out the answer. And the Muslims can help us figure out the answer.
At the moment, America is gripped in fear. Let's not sugarcoat this. Whether politicians are driving it, we're seeing it in the media, or we've simply been conditioned to it since the double attacks on the World Trade Center. We are fearful of not only who might attack us and when, but of those who seek to find their way here by legal or other means. The possibility of Syrian refugees coming to America has our attention, certainly. But we are an ocean away from this influx, while so many European nations are dealing with the possibility of attackers just walking across borders. We find ourselves needing to understand and learn how other nations make it work, and how they keep their people safe and hopefully keep the fear tamped down. Our guest is Managing Director for the Center for Transatlantic Relations at Johns Hopkins University and the former Hungarian ambassador to America. Welcome, András Simonyi, to the Hardline. Ambassador, it's a pleasure to speak to you again, and I specifically want to focus on that fear factor because we talk about it so much here in America. Do you get the sense that other nations, the European nations, for instance, France, the United Kingdom, others, are they as fearful as we are every day of being attacked by those who come in legally, those who live in their countries?
Sure, there's a lot of fear out there, but fear is no answer, and I think Europe is just about to get its act together.
When you say that, though, that's interesting because there are many people who believe that they are years behind, that they have been dealing with many other conflicts, and they simply are not even close. As a matter of fact, correct me if I'm wrong, we're talking about 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 refugees who've arrived in Europe in the last year or two. So how are they really getting along? I mean, and you say that they're doing it right.
I think finally Europe realizes that, one, the borders have to be made safer. Two, excluding refugees is not the response. Three, the vetting process has to be very tough and very clear. Four, we need to send back people who are not actually refugees but have just come in the wave as economic migrants. And by the way, let me add this. Just today, the German Chancellor made a very strong statement saying that when these people come to our country, they have to respect our laws, they have to respect others, they have to respect women, they have to respect our way of life, and parallel societies will not be built. And that's, I think, is a very, very strong answer.
So is that what we need to do here in America? Because every time you hear something like that, there are people on the left who will knee-jerk and say, civil liberties, you cannot do that. But are we simply at a different stage in global condition, if you will, that we've got to do this? There's no choice.
I think of course, there are several choices, but I think the sound choice is to find the right balance between security and allowing people into this country that has been so welcoming for so many years. But here again, the United States has to be very clear. If you come to this country, you have to respect our laws, no parallel cultures, and you have to embrace our way of life, our Constitution, and I think that's a very powerful response. I did not like Donald Trump's statement, taking a whole people hostage to this unfortunate crisis, and the terrorist threat that we all understand is a serious threat.
But if we do tell people again, and I'm going to follow along with what you're saying here, if we tell people, look, you have to abide by this country's laws, you have to do certain things in order to be here, how do we do that? How do we make that happen? Because it seems as if we miss so many now. That would seem to be an impossible task, because won't the terrorists just lie to us on the way in?
Well, first of all, I think the message has to be, if they come to the United States, or if they come to Europe for that matter, you have the same opportunities as others. You will find work. You will be part of society. You have to make a contribution to your community, to society, and I think that's one part of it. But the other part of it is of course, we have to step up our security. I think it is important that we do not neglect this aspect, and I think we are all, Europe and America, is about to do that.
I got about 20 seconds left here. Can we just say then that it may be uncomfortable to many people, including many people on the left, but right now, the way the planet goes and the terrorist threat that's out there, we have to have a tighter fist. End of story.
I totally agree with that.
But do you think we have the resolve as a nation to do it?
I think some do, some don't. But at the end of the day, I don't think there is a choice to find a balance between having a strong fist and also be accepting.
That may just be it. We have to go ahead and decide to be there, or it may hurt us down the end of the road. Ambassador András Simonyi, it's always a pleasure, my friend. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll speak again. Time to roll the dice with an esteemed political animal. Predictions maybe on who rolls sevens in Las Vegas, and a whole lot more when the Hard Line continues.